I'm going to tell you today about a gun I've been very excited about. It's the Brocock Compatto. Brocock, in case you're not familiar, is a British manufacturer. They've been around for several years, and for the last few they've been making some really nice compact guns that I like for hunting. You might have seen some of my other videos on the Specialist and the Elite, a couple of the other guns that I've shot. They make these really compact guns. At any rate, the Compatto, what excited me about this gun was that, I guess it was last year sometime, the company that owns Day State acquired Compatto. So now you've got this company that's making these great compact workaday guns with one of arguably the finest air gun manufacturers in the world. So I'm going to take this out to Texas with me. The Compatto is going to get out there in the field. We have the opportunity to do some lamping while I'm out there for jackrabbits, and we'll see how it does. Stick around. A lot of people in lamping will ride in the truck and shoot out of it from up on top when you've got a shooting rig like we did, but I was walking out while the lights were being worked by the driver. The winds were really howling on a couple of days we were out there, and they shut down our predator hunting, but the rabbits were still moving. The trick to consistently taking game is to be out when the game is out. Texas allows lamping for non-game species, and it's the best time to get jackrabbits.
Yep.
The jacks were skittish. The lights hit and they started moving.
I'm recording.
Pulled over. Really like this. It's everything I like in a hunting gun. It's compact, it's got a fast action, nice trigger, reliable. I think they've hit a home run with it, and I'll tell you why. There are several things that I really like. Let's start first talking about the basic design. This gun is what's being called a semi-bullpup. Semi-bullpup because the trigger has been moved forward, not exaggerated in terms of how far back the receiver has been moved. It's not all the way back to the buttstock, but they've moved it forward, and in doing so, it's allowed them to keep a full-size barrel on a very short length overall in the gun. So I really like that. I got the performance advantages of the full-length barrel, but I've also got the field advantages of having a compact gun. The trigger, two-stage adjustable. It's crisp, it's clean, it's actually just a great trigger. It's got a wide blade, fits the finger pad of the trigger finger very, very well. It's comfortable. It allows you to get the intrinsic accuracy from this gun. It has been an exceedingly accurate gun. When I test these days, I shoot on paper at 25 and 50 yards, 5-shot groups to see how the gun can group out of a rest. But what I really am interested in seeing is that afterwards, I take a number of spinners, steel targets that go from a 1/2 inch to 2 inches in diameter, and I place those from 20 to 100 yards. And then I work at shooting those from typical field or hunting positions. I shoot standing, sitting, kneeling. I shoot with sticks, without sticks, prone, all the different ways that I would shoot in the field. And I get a sense of how often I'd hit the kill zone of my game. I'm not a target shooter. What I really want to know is that I can get that pellet into the kill zone at whatever distances I choose to hunt. And this gun was one of the best that I've shot, for me anyway, in terms of being able to keep those pellets in. The gun fills using a proprietary probe. You know, I prefer a Foster fitting, but I'm okay with a proprietary fill probe. Has a manometer or a pressure gauge up in the muzzle end, towards the muzzle end of the reservoir. Surprisingly, with this short tube and this gun putting out 30 foot-pound at high power, and I'll come back to that in a minute, it gets 25 to 30 shots, which I think is very, very good. It's a whole day of squirrel or rabbit hunting. So let's talk a little bit about the performance. 25 yards, I can get ragged one-hole groups with this gun. At 50 yards, I'm getting sub half-inch groups, but I mean I'm actually able to cover those 5-shot groups with a quarter all day long at 50 yards, which is really good. The gun has adjustable power. I mentioned 30 foot-pound. That's at the maximum power setting, but there's multiple power settings that you can use, which I think is great. You can dial it down when you want to shoot in your basement, or if you're going inside of a building to do pest control, or you're shooting in sensitive areas around equipment or livestock. You can dial it down. On the other hand, when you need that power, you can dial it right back up, and you have it. The rifle comes to shoulder very well, mounts very naturally, points naturally, and this has been one of the guns in the last few years that's impressed me tremendously.